What's up, YouTube? Today, guys, I'm going to be talking about the Flundereezenuts. It's a new archetype that the intern that made Warrocks decided to atone for his sins. And in order to get his job back, he pitched a crazy idea to Konami. He said, what if we made a deck that didn't care about Maxi, that doesn't care about Winda, that has a counter trap that's a floodgate? Yes, you heard that correctly. That's a counter trap floodgate. And can normal summon more times than you can count. Well, this intern just got hired. And today, in Bursts of Destiny, we're going to see this new archetype completely change the metagame. Boys, Flunderies. This is an archetype that I think a lot of people are probably going to quit the game. We'll see actually how far they'll hold, but man, it seems like the Master is going to be pretty skillful. If you guys are not sure what this deck entails, I'm going to walk you through them. First off, we got Empen, which is this penguin-looking mofo. He has, like, I don't know why he's a wing beast when he doesn't have wings. That's a capital D colon right there for you. But so, let's read its effect. When it's tribute summoned, you add any Flunderies spells or trap from the deck to the hand. And then, immediately after this effect drops, you get to normal summon one monster. So, pretty neat. And when its card is tribute summon monster is on the field, your opponent's special summon monsters in attack mode cannot activate their effects. Wow. That, I don't think, can you like special summon in defense? I guess Ecclesia can play around it by special summoning in defense, but they don't even have link monsters, so I don't even know how you're even going to be able to special summon the Ecclesia. But I guess, sure. And if it battles an opponent's monster, wow, they gave it a third effect just because. Why not? Content. Move on. It basically gales you. Nice. Shout out to Simo. Next one. Flunderies Snow. So these are like nice little. What are these? Are these like? Hold on. What? Are these? I'll be honest. They're kind of cute, but you won't be saying that after you read what this card is capable of, bro. So if you control this tribute summon card, activate this effect, you get 3 normal summons. You get 3. You get 3 normal summons. Okay. Sounds okay. Okay, masterpiece. Relax. While this tribute summon monster is on the field, if it attacks a defense position monster, it inflicts piercing damage. Okay. H-heated heart-esque effect. I like it. I like it. Quick effect. Banish a card from your hand. Book a moon your opponent's monster. And it's better than UCT. It's not just during the main phase. Okay, sure. I guess it's only like special summon monsters that you book. But if you it's not once per turn. If you have 2 of these cards, you can just book and then book. Man. All right. Well, let's look at the little cute little birds. Wow. Okay. Anyways, this is Robina. So if you activate the first or third effect of this card's name, you cannot special summon the turn you activate these effects. So when it's normal summon, it's a Rhoda, and immediately after you Rhoda, you get a normal summon. That's actually so cracked, but I'm not even gonna get into that. If this face-up card leaves the field, you banish it. If a wing beast monster is normal summoned to your side of the field while this card is banished, it gets added back. So we all know how strong recursive engines can be, right? Like we've seen the reason why Alistair is so popular because it comes back every turn. It's a normal summon every turn. You can keep recurring. This card does the exact same thing from a recursive standpoint, right? Dragon Link recursion in the follow-up makes it so powerful because it can kill you, can put a lot of pressure. And then even decks like Dytron, its graveyard setup, that follow-up is very powerful. I think we can all agree that when archetypes have built-in recursion, that deck is automatically put on a pedestal from a tier list perspective, right? And seeing that in part of its main core engine is definitely very scary. But let's read the rest of these cards. So next one, this is Eagleton or Eaglin. If this is normal summon, you get to add any of those big ones. So the ones we saw before, Empen and Snow. So we get to add those back. We get to search those cards, and then right immediately after you do that, you get to normal summon. So like, I mean, just intuitively looking at this, I haven't done any combos yet, but you can go something like Robina effect, normal summon Robina, effect search Eaglin. Normal summon Eaglin using the effect of Robina, then Robina's effect, Eaglin's effect searches any of these big guys, and then you summon any of these big guys like Empen, and then you search a trap card. I mean, it seems pretty basic, pretty intuitive combo. And when these cards leave the field, they get banished. The craziest part is when you summon the big wing beast cards, you get to add both of them back to your hand. So Robina and Eaglin comes back to your hand once after you summon a wing beast monster to your side of the field while these cards are banished. I mean, that's just absolutely cracked, right? Next, we got Stitch. So what does this card do? When you normal summon it, it's a DD Crow. In either player's graveyard, then you get a free normal summon. When this card leaves the field, you get to banish it. If a wing beast monster is normal summoned to your side of the field while this card is banished, you can add this card to banish. So all the same effects for the second and third ones for the small ones. When this one is normal summon, you can add back any banished Flunderies card. If you guys haven't caught on yet, these cards do not care about the graveyard. What does this mean for the archetype? First off, you can play cards like Mackerel, D-Fissure, Shifter, right? You can also play stuff like Icarus Attack. You can all play stuff like Featherstorm, the Harpy Featherstorm, which is literally a VFD on legs. And there's no counterplay for Harpy. When they Harpy Featherstorm you on your turn, there's no counterplay. You need to have Red Reboot in your hand. And if you don't, it just doesn't matter. Anyways, we'll read the field spell now. This card is literally a Rhoda. You reveal a level 1 Flunderies monster in your hand. If you do, you banish the Flunderies card with a different name from your deck. And then after this card resolves, you get a free normal summon. It's basically like Madolche Salon. The reason why I call it Rhoda is because when you banish a Flunderies card from your hand, it doesn't matter. Why? Because Toucan can add it back to your hand. And when you add it back to your hand, you get to normal summon it immediately. So it's actually really insane, right? Because you get to banish any Flunderies card from your deck. And so this card is a nice 2-card combo with Toucan, which means you can banish any card you want, and you can search it. So it's literally a Rhoda that you cannot ask. Shout out to Lanura SD in my chat. That's exactly it. You banish basically any card from your deck. There's not a lot of cards in the game that lets you just banish a card from your deck. Goldsark is a card at 1 for a reason, right? Like, Goldsark is literally at 1, and this card is about to be at 3+4 with on release. And it has a second effect. On your opponent's turn, when they normal summon a monster, you get to trigger effect, normal summon any Flunderies from your hand. Which means like you're literally playing on your opponent's turn, and you're plussing. And we've seen from Shadal's, we've seen from other decks that are able to play on their opponent's turn, and how strong they are, right? So being able to play on the opponent's turn and plussing on your turn and your opponent's turn is just so crazy. This next card is, and you gotta keep in mind, guys, all these Flunderies cards, they're all searchable. That's the craziest part. They're all searchable because this big dude, M-Pen, adds any Flunderies spell or trap from your deck to your hand. You can literally play cards like Duality and not care. Duality, a card that's one of the biggest restriction, it's not being able to summon. Doesn't matter. You can play Duality and probably Prosperity because you're not drawing cards. So this deck is actually hyper consistent. You can play Duality, Prosperity, and it just doesn't matter because the restriction, quite frankly, doesn't matter. That's absolutely cracked. I think a normal summon deck, we have not seen this. I don't even know. Like, I guess Monarchs, I've never played in 2017. I don't know how broken Monarchs were in 2016, whatever it was. But this is literally a normal summon deck that can play cards that are like crazy power cards, power spell cards. That gives you like consistency. That's so crazy. Anyways, the next spell is called Flunderies and the Unknown Wind. Bro, this first effect is not once per turn because the second one is, but the first one says, if you were to conduct a tribute summon that would require 2 tributes, you can send a monster you control and any card your opponent controls to the graveyard instead of tributing it. What does that mean? That means you can send your opponent's back row. Are you serious? You can send your opponent's back row. You can send Dragoon. It's literally not once per turn, guys. It's not once per turn. Literally, you activate this, they have to negate it. If they don't negate this card, you literally send their entire card to the graveyard. Guys, it outs Mystic Mine. For Christ's sake, it literally outs Mystic Mine. Are you... Oh my god, yo. It outs Mystic Mine, and on resolution, you trigger the monster effect. That's insane. That's insane. The second effect is a consistency card. it lets you reveal 2 wing beasts in your hand and then place them to the bottom of your deck. So if you open the big dudes and you want to put them back, it mulligans you. It mulligans you. So maybe you can play Prosperity with the, but being able to, play cards like this to replenish your hand, I mean, that's really strong. That's absolutely so strong. It's Moray of Greed without any, it's literally Moray of Greed with more effects. It's Moray of Greed with, Stormforth built in. During the main phase, immediately after this card resolves, this is Flunderies and the City of Dreams. You get to normal summon any level 4 or lower winged beast monster. So it's I think there's a trap card that lets you normal summon on your opponent's turn as well. That's continuous. I forgot the name of it, but I mean this is really insane. This isn't not a continuous trap card, which means there's no counterplay for this card except Red Reboot. So you get to just normal summon immediately, and while this card is in the graveyard, you can banish this card from the grave. If you were to tribute a level 7 or higher monster, you get to Book and Moon your opponent's monster. You Book and Moon your opponent's monster. And why is this crazy? Toucan doesn't just add Flunderies monsters. It can add any Flunderies spell or trap as well. So if you banish this card, your Toucan for the follow-up can just get it back. You get back a Book of Moon every turn. Imagine getting Book of Eclipse every single turn while also not being able to use any monster effects because all your monsters are in attack mode. That's insane. Flunderies nuts. The new meta. The last card, which is, if you look closely, that's a counter trap symbol. And I'm not proficient in Japanese, but I think this card says you can't play the game. Let's see if I'm right. If you can only activate 1 card with this card's name once per turn. If you control a face-up tribute summon monsters, which you will do most of the time, and no special summon monsters, and your opponent would special summon a monster, your opponent cannot special summon monsters for the rest of the turn.
Alright, let me get that console.
Okay. But they can conduct 3 normal summons. Wow. I get to normal summon Alistair 3 times, search 3 invocation, and guess what? It won't even matter because I can't special summon. It's not just 1. They also negate the summon of the special summon monster that they summoned. And if you do, it returns that monster back to the hand. So it's literally pulling the rug. I think it's literally pulling the rug, but better. Hold on. Is it not pulling the rug? So they try some intern, I swear to God, some Konami intern was like, let me try to make up for Rorox. Oh, pulling the rug? Oh, okay. All right. Oh, yo, a light bulb went in his head. And he decided he's going to make pulling the rug, but better. And this right here, guys, is innovation at its finest. Well, anyways, guys, this is basically Flunderies in a nutshell. We're going to see how many people quit the game by then. I mean, I'm actually really excited to play this deck, ironically enough. I think the mirror match is going to be kind of cool. It might suck if this deck becomes tier 0 because this card is unplayable in the mirror match, but you still have to play it most likely. But yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts on this archetype. Where are you going to be when this set gets released? Anyways, guys, if you stayed all the way to the end of this video, please don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.